What is up everybody, Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Considering how powerful the Lion King is, guys, I thought that we should make a second video with him only on Clan Boss. We want to see what sort of teams we can make with him and how good he's gonna perform in Clan Boss teams, right? He has a very powerful kit for any sort of content in the game. But before we check that out, guys, I just want to let you know, if you enjoyed the music you hear in the video, I partnered up with Soundstripe, which is a royalty-free music library. They have sound effects, they have lots and lots of great music, so if you're a content creator, a music enthusiast, feel free to check them out. If you use code Skratch on checkout, I actually get to save you a 15%. So we have his crit aura, which is huge for any sort of Clan Boss teams, right? Then we have weaken and defense down. We have full immunity from his kit on a stance. We just gotta lock this skill, never to use it, and we're gonna be immune to stun like every single turn of the Clan Boss when he stuns. And then we have on a 4-turn cooldown, we have unkillable, right? Plus his damage increases with the more HP he loses. So that's a good thing. That's why we gave him a Fury set to synergize with that as well. We gave him an Immortal set to make sure he's gonna be our stun target during all those turns there. We're gonna use him on a team with Sir Nicholas and 3 DPS. So for whoever is familiar with the team with Roshkar the Tower and Skullcrusher being the stun target, is pretty much the same thing. The only thing is we're not gonna need a cleanse champion in here, or we're not gonna have to make him slow because he needs to be on a 4-to-3 ratio to make sure we have that passive on a cooldown every single time. Now I can already tell you, you'll be in for a great surprise, or maybe not. Total stats on this champion, we have 42k HP, 4.1k attack, 1.8k defense, 243 speed, full crit rate, 248 crit damage, 237 accuracy. Masteries, we have offense and defense 3 counter attack, and we have War Master. Very important not to get Life Drinker if we want him to be a reliable stun target compared to the rest of the champions, right? So that being said, I'm not gonna showcase you the team because that's not the idea right here, guys. If you wanna know more about that team, feel free to search it on the YouTube, Roshkar the Tower, Skullcrusher, or go on deadwoodjedi.com and you'll be able to find it there most probably. So starting it right here, guys, this is the team, right? It's full Oro. I try with Krella instead of Brackus, but I'll explain you in a minute why we're not gonna be able to run that. At least I haven't been able to make it work. Then we have Lord Shazar as DPS, we have Draco, we have him, and we have Sir Nicholas, right? So we don't need the cleanser here. The team setup is pretty straightforward. This is a full Oro team, right? So on the Lion, we're gonna open with the A1, just because I want Draco to open with the A3, so he gets to heal more for when the stun comes by using his A2 and A3 on those turns. Then, right here, we're not gonna use his A2 at all, right? That's how Draco Morph kind of works, prioritizes the A1, then the A2. Lord Shazar is not gonna use the A2 and A3, just the A1, he deals tons and tons of damage. Sir Nicholas is not gonna use his A2 because he doesn't deal as much damage as the A1, and we have to prioritize the skills differently. And Brackus, as usual, as he comes. Now, starting this run, you're expecting to see some beautiful stuff happening. Well, let's have a look at what exactly is gonna happen and how this team will actually work. So we have attack up from Brackus. That's why Brackus is here instead of Krella. Krella was placing that shield on the ally with the lowest HP, and that kind of was messing up which champion is taking the stun. Now, for the very first few turns, other champions will be taking the stun. Regardless how tanky we make the rest of the champions, they all seem to take more damage than the actual lead, especially the DPSers, right? So one of them will be taking the stun for the very first few turns, which is fine, that's not a problem. You see Lord Shazar got the stun this time around. Maybe Draco will get it at some point. Either though, we're gonna heal on him as well. Pretty good, you know. All the rest of the champions, they have Life Drinker. You see, the continuous heal from Sir Nicholas will give us 15% heal every turn when we get our turn, right? Then, that's why I have an Immortal set on him to get 3% more heal, and I have no Life Drinker. And because of it, we'll ensure that he's gonna be the stun once the HP levels will equalize and they'll be getting lower, because the rest of the champions will be hitting hard enough to heal from Life Drinker way more than he heals with a continuous heal and the Immortal set, you know. So let's just see. I'm not 100% sure, guys, if this is a bug, right? Because it seems like the majority of champions that came with this patch are bugged. They're not working as intended. Or that's the way they intended to do it, which is honestly such a big rip. Like, this is a Void Legendary champion, and for the moment probably a lot of you guys are asking like, what are you talking about? Everything seems fine. Well, it's not fine, guys. You're gonna find out in a second why it's not fine, once we're gonna get to the stun part, or maybe even before that, and I'll explain you once it's gonna happen. So you've seen what just happened. I'm not 100% sure if it didn't. So we got lucky this time around. From here on, it's gonna work, right? We didn't lost all that. We didn't got a fatal hit. But his passive activates. Even if he has unkillable on himself from before. So that doesn't make him a reliable stun target. You're gonna see that now it's gonna work just for the simple fact that this didn't activate it before. I thought that that AoE was actually gonna activate it. But usually what happens, we coming to this turn 11, he has plenty of HP, like he has slightly more than this. The boss is not dealing enough damage to activate his passive, and on turn 12 the AoE procs his passive while he has a 2-turn unkillable buff on him. It's such a dumb thing. Like, Plarium really needs to change this. If it's a bug, they need to fix it ASAP, because this is a Void Legendary champion of a high caliber, right? We're expecting this champion to do wonders everywhere because he has such a powerful kit. Now, by G-baiting us and making such a shitty passive, pardon my French because I cannot call it better, it's just a thing like this from them. They should definitely make sure that that passive works properly, 100%. So he's gonna be the stun target here, and this time around, it seems like we got lucky. And it's gonna work from here on without a problem. So because of it, we got lucky. This run is gonna be successful, guys, right? But I can tell you, I've done 20 before, and it didn't happen. It honestly didn't happen. So I had him planned to remove his ring, make him take more damage earlier on, and make him the stun target like that. But it's a lot of work to make him work like that, guys, you know? So honestly, we got so lucky with this run. This would have worked with Krayla right now, right? So with Krayla, it would have worked, and we would have done more damage, most probably, than with Brachus on the team, you know? But the main idea is, this was a lucky one. 1 in 20. I can tell you, I've done 20 runs before, and was pretty frustrating seeing that every time his passive was proccing on AoEs while he already had that buff on himself. And it felt really bad knowing that he's a Void Legendary champion. I really hope it's just a bug and Plarium will fix it. And that's it, you know. I hope it's gonna be that in the worst case scenario. If it's not, it's a really bad thing to put him in a bad passive like that, you know. The reason I have a toxic set, guys, is to make sure Lord Shazar deals more damage with the A1, right? The more debuffs we have on the boss, the harder he's gonna hit. Like, look at that. Look at all that damage. With one Giant Slayer proc, is 500,000 damage from the A1. So that's why we have Lord Shazar the way we have him. And let's see some damage from our champion, because I kind of talked about why he's not good as a stun target. And why I was worried that everything's gonna get messed up, but we got lucky. 73k hit, 82k hit with the A1. It didn't feel that impressive, you know. 118k, 116k, that's pretty good. That was from a counter attack before. But the main idea is that we have defense down from him and weaken. So that's a huge benefit already. And not just that, but we have the crit rate aura, which is huge. I don't have all my champions with the full crit rate, right? So I'm gonna show you the stats at the end, just in case if anyone is really curious about the team, to see the speeds and the HP levels. You can change any of the DPS champions. What's important is to have the Lion King and Sir Nicholas the way they are. With Roshkard, probably is gonna work differently. You're gonna have to prioritize different amounts of HP on them and stuff like that. But that's something you're gonna have to figure out yourself, because I don't own a Roshkard the Tower, and I haven't tried the team, and I can't really walk you through it, as I'm not 100% sure how to set it up to make it work with the stun, because I haven't tried it, you know. But the way it works like this, guys, Immortal set is a must on him, right? Sir Nicholas has regeneration set and an immortal set. But guys, I'm gonna fast forward this run towards the end, where we're gonna be able to see the total damage that each champion dealt, and of course, we're gonna see hopefully that the team is gonna be successful till the end. So here we are, guys. Turn 46, 72 million damage, easy 1 kill, right? The team is successful. Definitely having that regen set on Sir Nicholas helped him a lot to ensure he's not getting the stun. The passive worked fine because we got a lot lucky early on. I will be playing you a portion of the part where his passive doesn't really work, right? Just so you guys can get the idea. But the way it is like this is awesome, actually, right? He should be the best stun target in the entire game, period. For any sort of teams. A champion like this would open up the possibilities of creating different budget unkillable teams with a man-eater. Calling it budget. Filling the sarcasm with a void legendary in a budget, right? But it would work much better with a man-eater. We could create different sort of teams like that without having to have a slow champion. Without having the slow boy, he could be our main champion right there. But having a look at the damage he deals compared with the rest of the champions. Leorius, 13.8 million damage. Dracomorph, 17.9 million damage. We have Lord Shazar with 22.2 million damage. Wow. Only from his A1, guys. You see the damage compared to the Dracomorph as well. Sir Nicholas, 7.4 million damage. And we have Brackus on 16.4. That was with a toxic set as well. So the Lion and the Wolf are very similar in terms of damage. Of course, each one of them has different benefits. Now, Leorius himself, he used to crit with the A3 for like 200, 250k per hit. That's on a Fury set, right? With the A1, again, both of the hits, they were dealing around the same sort of damage, 200k plus with attack up, which overall is pretty decent for a damage dealer. The main thing is that he brings defense down, weaken, crit rate aura, and he can be the stun target without a cleanser or anything like that, right? So that's huge. Now, let's have a quick look and see how he performs when his passive doesn't work right. Here we are, guys, pretty much the same team, but instead of Brackus, we have Krayline here. I've done probably how I specify like 20 different runs, trying different sort of things to make it work without crippling his stats, right? I could remove the ring, remove something else from him, and like that, we will be making him squishy enough to ensure he's getting enough damage on the stun and faster, but that will cripple his damage overall, and is not really worth it, right? We want to see the full potential of the champion. I do have a feeling that it's just a bug, and hopefully Platinum will fix it in the next patch. Will make this champion to work properly, to feel like he's a Void Legendary champion in Clan Boss as well, rather than just Arena where he can nuke, you know? So, we tried by putting the shield from Sir Nicholas at different turns. Maybe like that, we would save him from taking too much damage on the AoEs, and his passive will not activate only on the stun, right? But you'll see in a second that that passive will actually, unfortunately, activate while we have unkillable buffs on him, and not for 1 turn, even for 2 turns sometimes, and that makes no sense. Why would the champion try to place unkillable on himself when he already has it? Now we know the coding is not the best in this game, right? We know the issues that we have with double Maniter as well, both of them trying to cover each other with unkillable, even though they already have unkillable. Same situation with Sir Nicholas and with a lot of champions like this. I don't know why, but it really feels like the rest of the champions, the other 3 DPSers, that they have like 400-500 more defense than the stun target, than the Lion here, they're taking way more damage than him. Honestly, I don't know why it feels like that, but they are taking so much damage compared to him. He does have the Immortal set that gives him 3% HP, but that's not the difference. So in a second, everything will work as intended here, guys. Just wait for it. With Krayla, this team could actually make so much more damage, you know? Definitely could make so much damage. A huge potential in terms of that, you know? So we're dropping a bit of HP there, which is fine. We're not going to use the A2 at all, right? That's very important not to use the A2 on him. First, I thought that maybe he used his A2, till I realized that actually his passive was activating early on, you know? Okay. So there we are. We're actually going to get a healing here in time for the stun. That kind of is a must for whenever we equalize the HP on all the champions. The stun target needs to have a 16% HP at least to still be considered a stun target. If the HP is going to be too low, the clan boss is going to target a different champion, and that's going to cripple the team very, very quick for you. It might work with him a bit differently because he buffs only afterwards, so the clan boss might still consider to go for him. You see? So there we go. We didn't, the boss didn't deal enough damage on turn 11 to activate his passive, right? And that can happen at any turn, guys. Any turn you're doing it, it can happen, honestly. So don't expect that, well, you just got unlucky 20 times. No, you're probably gonna get unlucky 20 to 30 times as well to make one time to this thing to work, you know? So paying attention to it in a second, you're gonna see that now on the AoE, regardless of what I was doing, his passive is gonna come in play. I'm not sure if I actually tried to shield with Sir Nicholas here. I don't think I did. But either way, was no point in doing it, honestly. I actually had to use Unkillable here from Sir Nicholas. I could have used the shield before, but then again, you see? His passive, True Grief, coming in play, bang. That's it. It kills him as a stun target, as a reliable stun target. Unless you wanna try your luck, 10 runs, 20 runs, 15 runs, cripple his stats in order to make him work as a stun target, but then lose a lot of damage from him. That can be done as well if you get the champion and you have no better options. Yeah, but I really hope this is a bug and Plarium is gonna sort this out ASAP. How you guys can see right here, the passive activated right before, while he had a 2-turn unkillable on himself, guys, right? So that's pretty wrong. I'm actually gonna forward this to Plarium to support and to have a look if this was intended or is a bug. I do hope it's a bug, Plarium. Will be a shame from you to actually do a champion like this with a bad passive like this for clan boss. Honestly, will be a big shame. But let's jump over and have a look at the total stats on the champions. But here we are, guys. Leorius, we've seen the stats. He's the fastest champion in the team, right? So he cannot go much faster than this. 244, 245 should still be fine. 246 is gonna throw him in the next threshold, and that's gonna mess up the whole team, right? Then we have Sir Nicholas right here, the second fastest champion in the team. He is at 241 speed. I haven't played around with the speeds up and down. I'm sure you can find a bit of a balance in between them to play around. We don't have full crit rate because the passive is giving us that, but we have tons of HP, crit damage, 241 speed, how I specified, on a regeneration set and an immortal set. We want to make sure he heals enough to don't be a stun target. So either a regeneration set, either 3 immortal sets will work. And you can actually knock down the crit rate on him like this, because it doesn't need to hit a crit hit anymore because of the regeneration set and the immortal. They heal him up for more than the stun target. So that should put him on the straight line there. Now, moving over to the next fastest champion, guys, is either Dracomorph, either Brachus. Depending by what champions you have available, you might want to prioritize defense down and weaken before the rest of the champions go. You might want to prioritize attack up before the rest of the champions go. So kind of up to you. Krayla was going after Dracomorph, if I remember it correctly. So Dracomorph is right here, guys. Savage and speed set. The speeds on these 3 DPSers, that they can be any champions you have that don't affect their meter or buff speed, okay? In between 191 minimum, 198 maximum. So it doesn't matter the speeds in between those. You can do 192, 3, 4, 5, all of them are 194 if you like, okay? That's up to you, whatever champions you're using and however you're gonna plan to put them in. These are the total stats right here. 194 speed, tons of attack, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy. Masteries are identical on all the rest of the DPSers, right? And the same on Sir Nicholas, we had the exact same masteries like we have right here. War Master as tier 6, counter attack from both of Retribution and Deterrence, just because of the way we have the stun target. Now, Deterrence is not really gonna work on this team, because he's not actually getting the stun on himself, so we're not really gonna get to counter attack like that. I haven't really paid attention if by any chance it worked like that. It shouldn't though. I have the same masteries from the previous team I've done with him, so regardless, what you're gonna put instead of that mastery is not gonna benefit your clan boss team, you know. The next champion we have on the list that you've seen the run successful with is Brachus, right? So I'm actually gonna have to go back up. I think he should be a bit faster than Dracomorph, or the same speed, I can't remember it. You see he has Giant Slayer instead, and he has a Methodical as well, so his total stats are, yeah, 196 speed, 5.5k attack, tons of crit damage, 78 crit rate, no accuracy because I already have defense down and weaken from 2 different champions. I have him on a toxic set. I want to drop in some poisons in there for Lord Shazar to get to deal more damage. And where is Lord Shazar hiding? He's the slowest champion in the team and he should be at 191 speed. He's as well on a Fury set. Total stats, 4.9k attack, 191 speed. He's on full crit rate actually, 301 crit damage, no accuracy, no resistance. I don't want him to land bombs. We're relying more on poisons, right? And we want him to deal tons of damage with the A1. Damage increases by 15 for each debuff on the target. That's pretty huge. Master is Giant Slayer on him as well, of course. Same like on Brachus. But guys, that was all for this video. Do let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the Lion King in Clan Boss? I really hope they're gonna fix his passive and it's just a bug rather than being intended. I heard that Bushi might be working the same way he dies, but then Bushi is a trashy epic champion, so I'm expecting a much better value from a legendary champion, especially that he's void, and it might cost you around $600 to get him, right, if you're unlucky. So Plarium, please fix his passive, make everyone happy, give us a good champion all around. But that was all for this video, guys. Appreciate all of you watching. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and I'll see you all soon on another video. Till then, peace out.